Dragon Ball GT, the red-headed stepsister of the series. I'm just gonna be completely real and honest with you guys. GT was awesome. Alright, let's get this review started, shall we? Enjoy the review! When you think of awesome Dragon Ball Z video games, so many video games come to mind. You got the Dragon Ball Z Budokai series, the Tenkaichi series, games like Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit, the Raging Blast games, the Legacy of Goku video games, and also Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse. So, there are so many amazing Dragon Ball Z video games. However, very early on, back on the PlayStation 1, back in the mid-1990s, back when in Japan Dragon Ball GT was very popular, a video game called Dragon Ball GT Final Bout came out, and it really wasn't that good of a video game. And I'll go more into detail in this video game review here today, and I'll explain my certain problems that I have with this video game. However, there are some genuinely good things that I like about Dragon Ball GT Final Bout as well, but most of the majority of it is really not that good. So, anyhow, I really think that this will be a fun video game review, and I can't wait to review Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. So, without further ado, let's get this video game review started, shall we? We're gonna review Dragon Ball GT Final Bout for the PlayStation 1. Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. This video game offers quite a bit when it comes to content. There is a mode where you can fight many of the well-known Dragon Ball GT characters and earn experience, and honestly, I thought that was a really cool mode. Not only that, you got multiple awesome Dragon Ball GT characters, but one major criticism that I have is that there are multiple variants of each character. Like, did we really need 4 different Gokus in this freaking game? Ugh. Dragon Ball GT Final Bout's major downfall, unfortunately, has to be its gameplay. It's not completely bad, you can punch somewhat, but really doesn't offer any unique combos, and moving around just feels so stiff and awkward in this video game. I just don't understand how the gameplay could be so shallow, since games like Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22 came around before this game and really had great gameplay. It's really unfortunate because if Dragon Ball GT Final Bout's gameplay was better, this definitely would be a game worth playing. It's really unfortunate that the gameplay of Dragon Ball GT Final Bout is this video game's biggest downfall. Because honestly, there are so many great Dragon Ball GT characters, and the mode selection in this game is actually really good. It's really unfortunate. Anyhow, we are going to talk about the development of Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. Let's talk about the development, shall we? Bandai kept Dragon Ball GT Final Bout under wraps for most of its development. The game didn't come out in North America until much later and was unveiled at the 1997 Tokyo show. Unfortunately, most video game review sites gave this video game a very low score, and I could understand why. I literally agree with most of those freaking critics. I have played this game, and honestly, it controls very poorly. It's obvious that Namco Bandai rushed this video game out and didn't put much time into making it, and the reception on this video game definitely shows. This is the 8th time I've lost on Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. You know what this video game is like? It's like a lethal dose of poison, injecting in your very bloodstream, destroying your body, willing to kill you by every single living second. I literally need help in this video game. I need somebody. I know. Pikachu! Help!
What do you want, Mr. Wee? I'm on the toilet. I had way too many white castles earlier.
What the frick, Pikachu? This is no time to be on the frickin' toilet! Help me out on this Dragonball GT Final Bout video game! No! Huh. Man, I literally have no help. Okay, let's talk about the gameplay of Dragonball GT Final Bout. And I am never gonna beat this video game. Okay, let me ask you guys this question right now. What makes a great fighting game? Let me say this. A unique and intricate combo system, fast-paced gameplay, and fluent movement speeds. Now let me say this. Does Dragonball GT Final Bout have any of that? The million-dollar question? No! Okay, like I have previously stated before in this video game review, I really enjoyed the mode where you fight the characters and level up. One, because it was way too easy and I literally got to a point where I was one-shotting my opponents, and two, leveling up just felt rewarding in a sense, which is what great RPG elements do, but really doesn't help the major issue of this video game. Dragon Ball GT Final Bout's gameplay is horseshit. It's pure crap. Punching feels awkward and stiff, moving around feels stiff, and the camera angles in this video game are just very awkward at times. I'm being serious right now. I just don't understand how they can make the gameplay this bad. Now, I understand that the argument could be made that their intention was to bring it to the Japanese market, so their efforts weren't that great, but then let me say this. Why release it in North America then a few years later if you know that not that many people are gonna buy this video game? I know that the argument could also be made that Dragon Ball GT aired in North America around that time as well, but honestly the reception this game has gotten is really not that good. I will say that the game is not completely broken. The game is somewhat playable, but honestly it is just the bare minimum. Games like Dragon Ball Z Budokai and Tenkaichi would definitely improve the gameplay nearly many times over. All in all, Dragon Ball GT's gameplay is bad. The modes are decent, but the gameplay is just pure, unadulterated monkey shit, and honestly, I mean that wholeheartedly. So, what are my final thoughts about Dragon Ball GT Final Bout? Like I've stated before, this video game has some great modes, and the character selection is very good in this video game, but the main issue, like I've said before, that this video game has is the gameplay. The gameplay isn't completely broken, but it's very shallow, and to a certain degree, it's quite fun, but games like Dragon Ball Z Budokai and Tenkaichi really offer so much more with the gameplay than this video game does. Now, I understand that this video game came out in the mid-1990s, but if you look at games that came out before this game, like Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22, that just has superb gameplay, then you honestly can't give Dragon Ball GT Final Bout any excuses either. The gameplay is not that good, and the final score that I give Dragon Ball GT Final Bout is a 5 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching this video game review, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. And by the way, how does my awesome hair look? See you guys later, and bye.